This call may be monitored or recorded for quality assurance or training purposes.
This call may be recorded.
Hello, friends out there in our home service industry. My name is Alicia. I will be your host today, and you are joining us live for This Call May Be Recorded. I am live, ready to listen to calls with you, and I want to welcome you here today. Let me know where you are joining us from. I'd love to connect with you. I am really excited about today. I really am. I have 4 amazing calls that we're going to be listening to. We're going to be coaching them up today. Now, I know you are all used to a rant. So how many of you want to hear a rant? You ready for a rant? I am one of the coaches, trainers, the webinar trainer here at Power Sling Pros. I also get to work in the marketing operations as well as sales operations. And the training side of things, meaning I get to introduce people to the amazing things we do here at Power Sling Pros. A few trainings that I've been in this week have all had a common comment at the end of our training, and I wanted to share that with you today. So a week ago, I was coaching with and training with a company. It was a solo CSR, and after we had finished our training, she said, "I just want to thank you so much. This is so exciting." I was like, "Oh, of course. Tell me more. What are you grateful for?" And she said, "I have been in the industry for 12 years, and there has never been a company like this who have invested in CSR training. Every company I've gone to, they have just said, 'Here, answer the phone and book the call.'" And she's had to figure it out all on her own. How many of you have had to do that before in the home service industry? If you are a CSR, really any customer service, they go, "Okay, your job is to answer the phone, and then you need to book the call. All right, ready? Go." And that's about as much training most people get. Well, I thought it was interesting that she said that. And she said, "This is the first company who's actually invested in me to train me how to be a CSR." She goes, "I've been in the industry for a very long time. I know what I need to say, but I didn't realize how many things that I was saying incorrectly or how I was creating a lack of confidence for my customers." Another training that I did, this is just yesterday, the very end of it, the owner mentioned something to me and he goes, "I've been in this industry for 20 years. I didn't realize how many things we were doing incorrectly on the phone. This is the first time I've sat through a CSR training and I need to do better." How many owners do we have out there? Again, if you're just joining me, let me know where you're calling in from, where you're joining me from. What do you do for work? And how long have you been one of our fellow attendees? I'd love to know. Well, I've been here at Power Sling Pros for a handful of years, and I have learned a lot. I have learned how to communicate more effectively. I've learned how to connect with people on a deeper level. I've also learned how to stand up for myself a little bit more, which has been really great. All things I thought I was really good at before I came here. And then I started working through all of the principles that we teach. And I thought, wow, there's always something more to learn. There's always something more we can do for people. And so that has been one of my biggest takeaways from working with the company. Well, we have 4 calls today. Who's ready to listen in and listen to these calls and coach them up? Raise of hands. Feel free to comment. Let me know where you're calling in from. All right. This week, I have 4 calls for you. We're going to listen to them live, and we are going to be coaching them up. I am one who tends to pause frequently because I feel like there are these little moments in there that I like to digest, and I like to make sure that we're talking about them before it gets too far or we miss an opportunity. All right. Hi, Umbrella Property. Hi, Tom. Hi, Charles. It's good to see you. CSR is joining us. Very good. Thank you so much. One thing I really want to highlight here when we are listening to these calls, these are not calls because I want to call people out. These are not calls that we are listening to because I want to point out you're doing a bad job. A big part of coaching is looking for those opportunities so that we can elevate our experience. We can learn, we can grow from them. And so, if this is one of your calls, if you're tuning in and you're listening here, I want to just reassure you this is not because you're in trouble. Or maybe you did something amazing and we just want to celebrate all the great things you're doing. I would hate for any CSR to come in here and feel like we were picking picking on you. So I definitely don't want it to be that. I love these because there are a lot of great things that happen. So we're going to celebrate those. We're also going to be listening for opportunities again to elevate the experience. That's what we're all here for, right? Very good. Thank you, James, for following for 3 weeks now. I am so glad you left the videos. We definitely have a good time over here. So the more interaction, the better. I love comments. I love being able to show those comments as well. So as I'm navigating 3 different screens, I apologize if it takes me a second to put your comments up here, but I definitely appreciate the interaction. So thank you so much. All right, let's get started. So caller number one, let's go ahead and listen here. And you guys let me know if you can hear my calls okay. All right, let me get you set up. I'm going to add some pictures this week because I don't think you want to watch just me. Sometimes it's nice to have a visual, so I am going to see if we can get this to work with a picture. All right, here we go.
Thank you for calling Mr. Shelby. How can I help you?
All right, that was just a quick test. I want to check in. Can you guys hear my audio with that? Give me a thumbs up, comment yes in the chats.
Hi, Shelby. You repaired door.
Can you guys hear that okay? That come across? Yes, perfect. Thank you, James, for letting me know. I appreciate you. Thumbs up. Appreciate it. Okay. I'm going to start the call over now that we know audio is working well. And let's go ahead and start this call over. Okay.
Thank you for calling Mr. Shelby. How can I help you? Hi, Shelby. You repaired door. Repair doors? Yes. Yes, we do. You do? Okay. I would like to schedule an appointment.
All right. I'm going to pause for a quick moment. It sounds like there is some audio feedback from the customer's end. Can you hear that static sound? How many of you have had a customer calling in and it's really difficult to hear what they're saying? There's too much background noise, maybe a poor connection. We've had those happen before. All right, we're about 20 seconds in. Let's talk about the first 20 seconds here. What have you heard so far? I'll tell you what I heard. If we go back to the greeting, yes, it's so frustrating when your customers are calling in and you can't understand them. So we're going to navigate this together. How do I help my customers know I want to hear them, and so that we can have a better connection that way? So we have to be aware of that. 2, let's talk about the greeting. Okay. A big part of what we do here at Power Selling Pros is elevating your customer's experience right away. One of the first principles in our pattern for excellence is being positive, because we know that positivity attracts people. We're all in that negative mindset when something goes wrong, or usually people aren't calling our home service industry business because everything's fine. It's usually because something's wrong. And so we have to elevate their experience, even though they may be in that hard moment. So greeting has to be positive. I really want a lot of energy with that phone call. So thank you for calling. My name is Alicia. How can I make you smile today? I feel like I missed that little opportunity here. I feel like it's just another phone call. Anyone else feel that way? She's picking up another phone call. All right. Let's hit play. Here we go.
Okay. Are you up?
Yes.
Perfect. Brand one. Oh, is this the brand new one, stainless steel single cylinder keyed entry?
Yes.
Is this the what? Now, I love that the customers or the CSR is prepared. She knows what she's talking about, but how do you think the customer feels right now? Did you hear that moment where the customer probably did the same thing that I did and goes, yes? I don't want to sound stupid. Whatever you said, yes, I'm going to agree with that. And so I can hear where the customer gets a little bit like, yeah. Okay, here we go.
That, I need the door fixed and the lock machine. I can't hear you. If you could speak up just a little bit. We need the door fixed and the lock changed. You need the doorknob and the lock changed. Yeah, and the door fixed, repaired.
Okay. This takes me back to my husband and I. We went to Florida and we decided we wanted to go out to like Tampa Bay area. We heard the sunsets are gorgeous out there. So we thought we'll just go have a nice sunset dinner, nice romantic thing. It was our anniversary trip. So we were getting away from kids. And the waitress was a lot like this. She goes, "I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You got to speak up." Every single time that I started talking. And so it's become a joke between my husband and I. "I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You got to speak up." But it made me think, what would I have wanted her to say instead? So these give me a lot of opportunities to ponder, to think. And then something interesting happened the next day, something similar. Apparently, I speak very quiet. But the next waiter that was helping us the next day goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry, honey. It is so loud in here, and I just keep hearing that fan buzzing. Can you say that again?" And I thought, that's what I would have wanted different. There are things that you can say that feel a little abrupt. Like, I know you want to get to it. You've probably had this happen several times today. You can't hear anyone because it's quiet. But immediately I felt like I was under attack. And then the next day when it happened, it wasn't so much about me, it was about the situation. And so when we're talking with our customers, we have to be mindful that we need to be more empathize with the situation and not with the emotion we might put on someone. I don't want to put an emotion on someone to make them feel bad or feel defensive, like they have to defend themselves. And so with this, we might just say, "It sounds like there's a little bit of feedback coming back through the call, which is making it difficult to really hear what you're saying. Would you mind speaking up just a little bit more so I can hear you? Or do you want to try calling me back and see if we can get a better connection? Or even, can I call you and see if we can get a better connection?" Some people don't really know how to fix it, and so it might just be that one random call that's coming through the line. So, all right, I keep pausing. What are your thoughts so far? Go ahead and put it in the chat. I would love to know. What are you thinking here? Okay, here we go.
Okay, and what's wrong with the door? It's not sitting on the frame properly. Okay. All right.
I feel like she's listening because she did rephrase repeat. But what was wrong with the door? It's not sitting on it, the frame properly. The CSR's response is, "Okay." So with coaching and what we teach here at Power Selling Pros is we want empathy. Now, if this were me and my door was falling off the hinges, I would be like, "Oh my gosh, that is so frustrating. You need to shut your door." And I'm sure that's really frustrating. What we hear is apathy. And so apathy is the opposite of empathy. Apathy is that lack of interest, enthusiasm, or concern. And it usually sounds like the, "Okay, all right, what's for dinner?" Just kidding. All right, here we go.
No, we're not sitting on frame properly. Okay, have you ever used it before or no? No, I haven't. Okay, I'll go over just a little bit about our company and then I can go over pricing with you. Is licensed general contractors. We've been in business for over 25 years. All of our technicians, they have a minimum of 15 years experience. We're licensed, bonded, and insured. Employees are drug tested and background checked, and also they do arrive in uniform and a marked van. The way we do our pricing is based off time and labor plus material. So the first hour includes a $50 service fee to arrive at the home, as well as the hourly labor rate of $138. So the first hour is billed at $188. Any additional hour is billed at $138 an hour plus materials. So they're gonna have to take a look and assess the door frame. As of right now, I would say this would probably take anywhere between 2 to 4 hours. So like anywhere between 326 and 602. Okay, but that we may not connect first, correct?
Okay, let's do some good things here. So she knew what she was talking about, right? She sounds confident that she needs to offer pricing. She needs to build value before price, which is I heard a little bit of both. There's some value there. What did you hear? Go ahead and type it in the chat. What did you hear? What did you like? What are some opportunities in this phone call? I don't recall. Maybe I was thinking about the words. I don't remember the customer asking for price yet, did she? She does sound confident building value. Yeah. So, with value, we have to remember that not everyone needs the same thing. And so, in one of my trainings, I had asked, I want you guys to recommend a show to me. So, you guys go ahead and we can do this exercise as well. What's a show that you've been watching lately that you absolutely love and you think everyone should be watching it? Put it in the chat. So Amber, thank you so much. She sounds confident, building value. Very good. Favorite shows. So we did this exercise the other day, and a lot of people were commenting on, here, you should watch this show. You should watch this show. It's so good. Here's why you need it. And I was listening to a few of them. And I'm like, yeah, I probably am not going to watch that one. Someone said, oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's really gory. And I was like, I'm really glad you said that because I don't do gory. And so when we're talking or we're communicating and building value for something, we have to remember it needs to be about the person and their interests. We can't just do a blanket statement for value. Now, we know that it takes a little bit of foundation building. There are a lot of things you have to work on before you really get to feeling confident and comfortable to build value uniquely. And so for me, what I'm feeling is there is a script written out. She had to read the script. She's working on it. She's going to be continuing to add on, which I think is great. You have to start somewhere. One thing that I would really advise is listen for opportunities to build value. So what did your customer tell you she needs? And then very good. Okay, I'm going to share this comment, Amber. I think it's great. I feel like she should have asked more questions on what the situation was before trying to build value. Yeah, let's talk about that. And then Charles, you said blacklist. Okay, this is the show. I was thinking like we were supposed to blacklist someone. Blacklist the show. So good. I love it. All right, so I am going to go back to Amber's comment here. This is what is going to help you build value when you listen and you ask more questions, because it's really hard to tailor something to someone if you don't know what it is they need. So let me say that again in a more relatable term. It will be hard for me to recommend Blacklist to someone who doesn't love drama. If they hate drama, if they hate criminal activity, that's not their jive. I wouldn't recommend that to them, right? I would probably recommend the Disney Channel because I know the age appropriate, right? If I'm recommending something to my kids, it would be more Disney than the Blacklist. You have to know your audience. You have to know who you're talking to so that you can build value uniquely. Now, someone said this to me. They said, my mom recommended that I watch this show. And what she had said to build value was, I know how much you love insert the theory or the topic. I know how much you love this. I just saw this advertisement. I think you should check it out. It sounds like something you'd really like. Now that's building value. I can't just say, hey, I just saw an advertisement on TV. It has these characters in it. This is the topic. You should check it out. And there's no interest for me. We need to know our people. And in order to know our customers, we have to do what Amber says, and we have to ask good questions. We need to understand the situation so that we can build value. All right, that's where I'm going to pause. Pause on that call. Let's take another call. You guys ready for another call? Let's do it. Thank you again for the comments. Feel free to continue to type in comments. I'd love to know where you're joining us from. If you haven't yet, make sure you share this video, share it on your feed. We want to get lots of feedback, lots of comments here. I think it's more fun when we get a lot of people chatting. All right, call number 2. Here we go.
Thank you for calling. This is Layla. How can I help?
Yes, hi. I'm calling because I
That's
think
loud.
something is wrong with my thermostat because it doesn't seem to cut on my heat or my air.
Oh, goodness. So when you go to adjust it, is it lighting up and letting you adjust things, but it's not actually cutting the system on?
Correct. It doesn't cut the system on for like heat. And then last week when we tried to cut it on for air, it did seem like the AC was running, but nothing was actually coming out in the house.
Okay, I'm going to pause right there. Amber, I heard that empathy right off the bat. What did she say? Oh, goodness. Here's what I love about this call so far. One, I really liked the energy right away. I immediately felt like she wanted to take the call. She sounded positive. Would you guys agree with me there? We got the positive. She sounded like she was listening because she asked a question and she didn't immediately jump into trying to solve the problem. So she said, good job on, or Nikki said, good job saying, oh my goodness. Yes, you got it. Thank you, Nikki. And then Amber said, oh goodness. This is what the CSR, we heard the CSR say these things. Okay. By the way, hi, Nikki. It's good to have you here. Thank you for being here. Nikki and I get to work together on Wednesdays. It's always so fun to have her here, have her join when I'm training. So hi, Nikki. All right. So we have heard, positive. We have heard prepared. We have heard the listen principle. And I heard empathy. So that's our fourth principle. What I really like about this call so far is you can hear her ask a question which invites the customer to start opening up and telling her more. So she said, I can't think of the question, but something along like, this is what I heard, what else? And then she continued to tell her more. So in order to lead a conversation, you have to be asking good questions so that your customer is doing the talking. They're going to tell you everything you need to know. You just need to know the right questions to be asking. So that's what I'm hearing here in this call so far. Okay, what we're going to be listening for next is she reassuring? Does she do a good job inviting her to take action? Yes, James said she does good open-ended questions. Very good. All right, let's keep listening here.
Oh, goodness.
Here it is again.
So
Oh,
you could
goodness.
hear it running, but there was no real cooling going on in the home.
Exactly.
That's no
Yeah.
good.
And then the motherboard of the furnace was replaced in February.
Okay. Could definitely be related, but we can take a look and diagnose the system and let you know. And forgive me, who do I have the pleasure of speaking with this morning?
I'm sorry, I don't think I gave you my name. Valerie, Valerie. Last name is.
Okay, right, Valerie. Is this the first time your thermostat has started to give you issues like that?
Yes.
That's got to be frustrating. Is there a time that works particularly well where I can have a technician out to you?
What are you hearing? I heard a lot of empathy. How many of you heard the empathy? Is an expressing emotion to what she was telling. Oh my gosh, I love customer service. Hey, Zach. Thanks for tuning in and listening. We're so glad that you're here. All right. So I really like that the CSR is using a lot of empathy. She's saying things like, oh my goodness, that's got to be frustrating. And then you can hear the customer telling her a little bit more. Yes. And then she asked a really great question. Have you ever had anything like this happen before? Why is that a good question? Because I think that's a good question. Why is it important to know if anything's like this happened before? I did hear the reassure principle. She said, we can definitely come out and take care of this for you. And then I started to hear the ask principle, which was, when would you like us out? So I know I'm asking a handful of questions. You might be typing out an answer, so I'll wait for those. Tell me what else you are hearing. What are the opportunities as well? Anything else that we can be helping elevate this experience so far? So Amber said it helps the text. Yeah, it definitely helps the text. If something like this has been happening before, my technicians need to know that because I want to make sure that one, I'm getting the right technician assigned. I don't want to send out a technician who's not really familiar with that type yet, or maybe there's more training that needs to be done with a certain technician. If I've already had someone come out and look at it and it didn't work for them, I might need an additional, maybe a more senior tech to come out and look at that. Very good. Possibly of cross-selling. What kind of cross-selling would you hear in this scenario, James? What are the opportunities to cross-sell? I know that my thermostat in my home is not smart. We have to manually move the switches. And I just thought it would be so nice if it just automatically kicked on to a heater when it's cold. Or kicked on the AC if it was too hot. But no, I have to like manually go in there until I'm like sweating to death. I'm like, why is it so hot in here? Oh yeah, I left the heater on because I live in Idaho and it gets cold at night. All right, Amber, if it's happened before, is it a callback? Is there an opportunity for a membership sale? Very good. Very good. You are smart people over there. If it's happened before, maybe they're not going to be charged anything. And so I need to build value a different way. My value statement would be, we stand behind our work. You're going to continue to be in great hands with us because we stand behind our work. We're going to take great care of you. And that might just help the customer feel like, yes, this is why I stay with your company, because you were always so great at taking care of me. They're going to become committed because the value is unique to what that customer needs. Okay, we have just a few minutes left. Let's go ahead and listen for a little bit longer. I'd really like to hear a value statement here. So let's go ahead and listen.
No, I'm here all day. Okay, so this is our first available would work for you. Okay, yeah.
And have we been out to your home in the past, Valerie?
No.
Well, thank you for giving us an opportunity. I would just need to take a little bit of information to set up a dispatch for you, and I do send that into my head dispatcher so she can get you assigned to a technician in your area. Would this be the best callback number for you? Then,
Okay. What did we hear? Amber said, if it has happened before, you can use that in the value statement that we can take care of you. Very good. I like it. All right. So she goes into the ask principle. She says, when would you like us out? And then she goes, okay, our next available will work. Have we ever worked with you before? Now, I've said this, I've expressed this before in a previous podcast. Maybe that's not my favorite question. Is it the end of the world? No, it's fine. Sometimes we need to know. Like maybe it's under a different account. Maybe it didn't pull up with a phone number. And so it's not the end of the world if you can't find the account, but we might even just check in a different way. Is there a different way to ask that question? What phone number would be associated with your account? Is the phone number you're calling in on the one that's connected to the account? No, I don't think so. I think I haven't ever worked with you guys before. Oh, okay. Well, I love the gratitude statement in there. Thank you so much for calling us and giving us an opportunity to connect with you. So I love the gratitude that came in a little early there. Okay, I keep pausing. I told you I was a pauser. I like pausing. Okay, let's keep listening.
Yes, it would.
perfect. And what would be that home address for us?
Again, these are edited so that we keep our
Perfect.
customers
And
safe.
we are a paperless company, so we would send over any recommendations and invoices via email. What would be the best
Okay.
email?
At Yahoo.
Okay, I love this. Don't just say, what's your email? Someone said that to me at the mall. I took my son to Route 21 because I feel, anyway, he's a teenager. Walked into Route 21, bought him some clothes. This is how I buy things, I guess. Bought him some clothes, go to the checkout, and they go, okay, what's your email? Immediately, my first thought was, you're going to scam me? Like, you're going to, yeah. I don't know. I don't really want to give you my email. And so I go, oh, why do you need it? So Nikki, thank you. Great job asking which form of communication she likes. I do like that. I say that too when explaining why we get an email. Very good. And I tell them, I promise we won't spam you. I love that. I think that's very reassuring. I think that also builds a little value that you guys aren't out just to spam people, which is nice. So Checker asks, what's your email? And I go, why do you need it? And he goes, oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if you're anything like me, but I lose receipts. I hate keeping them. They always disappear somehow. And so what I'm going to do is send you an electronic receipt. So if anything doesn't work out with this order, kids grow or whatever, you can just come in here and I'll pull up the receipt for you. You don't have to keep it. I was like, oh, done. That was enough value for me. And so you just need to explain to people why you need it. I didn't get to hear the value statement. I'm sure it's fantastic. I don't want to keep you for too long. I know we're at the end of our time. Let me know if you want to stay for an extra 3 minutes. We can listen to the rest of the call. I promise I'll stop pausing it. Any last final words before we depart ways? Any last things you'd like to add here in the chat? Okay. What I want to add here is, again, a lot of people don't know what they don't know, right? We, in the home service industry, and really a lot of industries, people don't know that customer service needs training. They don't realize that answering a phone call is not just picking up the phone. There's so much that goes into it. Our CSRs are the director of first impressions. They are the ones who are going to help your customer decide if they want to do business with you or not. We can't just put someone on the phone and say, good luck. We need to be training them. We need to show them how to elevate the customer's experience so that our customers want to keep coming back. Your customers may book with you because they have to, but they may not come back to you because they don't like you. Nothing to be rude. You're all nice. I know it's not really you, but I've had that happen to me before. I will call a company. I need to use them, but then I forget who they are because they didn't really impress me. I'm just whatever. All right, Amber, can I get a good email from you? We are paperless, so any invoicing or estimates would go to you in a digital file, and I promise we won't spam you. Very good. Being proactive helps avoid reactive behavior, something that I really promote. Be more proactive, always a good thing. Okay, well, no one said they wanted to stay an extra 3 minutes, so we will wrap it up here. I want to thank you all for joining me today. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the active participation. It always makes it more fun for us to be able to connect with you. That's why we do this. It's not about us, it's about you. We want to connect with you. If you have anything that you'd like to add, maybe you didn't feel comfortable sharing it, and you want to, feel free to email me. You can email me anytime. You can also find us on our website, powersellingpros.com. We love getting to connect with you. So if you have any other questions or comments, maybe you're feeling a little shy, you didn't really want to say it, but you're burning in your heart is pounding, you want to say something, feel free to email me. I would love to be able to connect with you. And let's see, I can put it in the chat here. My email is my name, Alicia Atkinson at powersellingpros.com. All right, you guys have a fabulous Friday. Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to connect with you and for making time for us. Have a fun weekend. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.